Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silverslayer. Welcome back, Silver Stackers across the world. We got some very important and interesting stuff we're going to dive into in this video. I got a couple different things I want to share with you guys. Before we start though, make sure you're subscribed. We're about to be doing my 45,000 subscriber giveaway. We're so close. We're right around the corner. So if you're subscribed, you will get notified for that entry video. You don't want to miss it. Also doing a 47K and a 50K silver giveaway. So yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up in the future. I also launched a second channel called Silverslayer Clips, 15 30-second videos. I just did a really cool unboxing yesterday. Post a lot of my personal silver stack. So if you want to see, more of the behind the scenes stuff or my physical silver, some of the cool stuff I have, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to support this channel one step further, I do have a PayPal and my Bitcoin address in the description. If you enjoy my content and think it's tip worthy, or, just want to throw a tip as a thanks, all tips are appreciated. Watching the video is more than enough, but I still have that option for you guys as well. Now, this interesting video is going to get crazy. We have the U.S. national debt clock. We have some stuff talking about the dollar's purchasing power, and it's going to translate into this article as well. There's a lot of stuff happening right now, and all of it is pointing towards higher silver prices. So make sure you like this video, comment, and share it. Liking and commenting really does help the video grow. I would appreciate that so much, especially since this important information does need to get out there. So let's jump straight into it. Could now be silver's Goldilocks moment. And I love that metaphor because it really is. I always say on this channel, the perfect storm is here. The stars have aligned for silver. Everything that needs to happen for silver to take off is happening. I've been posting videos for 6 years, almost daily videos for 6 years on this channel. And since the beginning, I've been talking about what needs to happen. And now this pandemic, especially looking forward with everything that's happening in the economy, is the exact thing that not only were we, did we know would happen eventually, the pandemic just sped everything up times 10, but it is happening. And this isn't a theory. This isn't speculation. This is a fact. These are actual things that are being put in place, and it's only going to get crazier. So yeah, the silver is Goldilocks moment, right? Too hot, too cold, just right. So let's jump straight into this. In the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the hungry protagonist tries 3 bowls of porridge after entering a seemingly vacant house in the forest. She prefers the bowl that is neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. The term Goldilocks has been adopted from the fairy tale to describe a situation in which something is or must be precisely right. With silver being a hybrid metal, drawing a defensive properties from being precious metal and from this being an industrial metal, conditions that are just right can be achieved when there is an optimum balance between the two dimensions. Could now be that moment, the right amount of support from gold. Silver's historically high correlation with gold, 70-80%, makes it a safe haven alternative to the yellow metal. But gold's defensiveness is not limited to economic downturns like last year. It extends to economic upswings too, especially when inflation is on the rise. For example, when the U.S. Consumer Price Index, or the CPI, inflation spiked sharply in April to 4.2%, well above the consensus estimates, gold found support. The correlation effect kicked in, and silver has rallied too since then. Given the prospect of the persistently high inflation, relatively steady U.S. Treasury yields for now, weakening U.S. dollar, and frequent bouts of the market volatility, gold may remain relevant for investors. Silver, sometimes seen as a leverage play on gold, will draw support if that happens. Yes, gold is the big brother of silver, right? Silver follows suit. There's almost a direct correlation, and that always happens. But here's the thing. Gold broke through $2,000. That was the highest price gold has ever been throughout 5,000 years. Gold broke past $2,000 It's like a volcano. It already erupted. The volcano already exploded. Silver, on the other hand, silver's volcano hasn't exploded yet. Silver always follows suit after gold, actually to a more extreme extent. I call it gold on steroids, but silver's volcano is still bubbling. It hasn't exploded yet. So that's definitely something that you have to think about. The right amount of support from industries, manufacturing, purchasing managers, the PMIs provide a useful barometer to gauge industrial activity. China's manufacturing PMI bounced back into expansionary territory in April after contracting in the first quarter. The same indicator for the U.S. is showing continuously steady improvement this year. Economic data in recent months has generally helped boost industrial metals, the top performing commodity sector over the last 12 months. Given that the more than half of silver demand comes from industrial applications such as photovoltaics, which is PV, which is in solar panels, electronics, and automobiles, especially electric vehicles, improving economic conditions bode well for the metal, right? And we're not just talking about the next couple years. We're talking about the next couple decades. By 2030, we're talking about all cars or automotive companies are going to be electric vehicles. By 2050, zero net emissions. With these solar panels, the Green New Deal, silver is going to be needed everywhere. And gold really isn't an industrial metal. So where silver is going to benefit, gold simply won't. Gold only really benefits or is profitable when the economy's in bad shape. Silver is both. I call it the best of both worlds. Silver's speculative positioning is rising, but it's not stretched. So here we have an interesting chart. So it goes back May 2016. And this was around the July 2016 high of $21 silver. So you could see May 2016, May 2017. And here's the CFTC non-commercial net positioning. And then you have price RHA USD to the dollar per ounce. So historical performance is not an indication of future performance to any investments that may go down in value. So sentiment improving, but not stretched. Is silver striking the right balance in terms of drawing support from gold's defensive characteristics and the properties of industrial metals? One clue lies in investor sentiment, as evident in net speculative positioning in silver markets or in silver futures. And this is a really interesting topic to dive into, because the industrial side of things, yes, silver is going to be needed, like we just talked about, for the next 40, 50 years, especially as we advance in this new technological era, this new digital era. Yes, a lot of people or a lot of businesses, a lot of companies are going to need silver. But then you also have individual investors. Wall Street Silver gaining thousands of members a day, around 100,000 members. And they just started that Reddit forum couple months ago. Think about in a couple of years, hundreds of thousands of people, and on a daily basis, thousands of people are new into silver. People even that haven't invested yet, at least hearing about it, have that seed planted. And as the price rises, as more people start to realize what's happening in the economy, it's only going to drive more silver investors. So you have individual investors like you and I, and the industrial sector. So everyone's going to want a slice of the silver pie. So while we have speculative positioning, which can be an important driver of commodity prices, is on the rise, and it is far from being stretched. This suggests that there is still further headroom for investors to take the view that conditions are neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. And I think that's just a perfect way to explain things. It really is. It's the perfect moment. If you were going to talk about $100 silver in any given time throughout history, right now would be the most relevant to see that. If you could go forward 20 years in the future and look back from now until the past, you would say right now is definitely has the most potential, has the most opportunity to see $100 silver. Right, especially if you look at 2008 to 2011, what led silver to $50 which is almost identical to today's terms, but today's terms are much more extreme with much more money getting thrown out. Back then, billion-dollar stimulus. Nowadays, trillions of dollars in stimulus and trillions of dollars in other things as well. That's why we're already $28 trillion in debt, right? That's something that's insane to think about, especially since this number is gonna rapidly keep rising as the years go on. And it's actually even faster than before. Look at this chart. The US has lost 98% of its purchasing power and 40% in the last 20 years. So it's rapidly getting worse. And here's the thing. This isn't going to go on forever. And no, it's not 99%. No, it's not 97%. 98% is a literal and factual figure. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And this 98% was before Joe Biden started throwing out trillions of dollars. So at some point, the dollar has to collapse. If you want a glimpse into what the dollar is going to look like, look at third world countries. The only reason America is the richest and wealthiest country is because we own the most gold. Think about third world countries. Think about the Zimbabwe $1 trillion bill. Their money is so worthless, they carry their money around in trash bags and they weigh their money on scales, because think about a dollar being worth the amount of like a couple pennies or 10 cents. So if you're going to buy something at the store that's $5, you have to hand over hundreds of these bills. That's how worthless it is. That's the direction we're going. It's just going to take longer for us because we are wealthier. So I do like this chart to show the reality of things, right? And this is going to look, this chart, you have to think about moving forwards. So in 20 years from now, $10,000 right now might be worth around $2,000 or $3,000 then. And that's if the dollar lasts that long. So here, let's look at this. The dollar versus gold. Gold has offset the loss of purchasing power of the US dollar. So the dollar has lost 98.2%, right? We're looking at an extremely accurate and literal figure of its purchasing power since 1900. Gold has increased 53.9 times in value during that time. Therefore, 1.8%, and that's looking at the 98.2%, so the extra 1.8% times 59.3, which is what gold has increased, equals 97% of its purchasing power retained by gold. So gold holds its value. It's like putting your money in a time capsule. Same thing with silver, right? Gold is a monetary metal. Silver, like the article stated, is a monetary metal, but also an industrial metal. Where do they say that, right? Let's see. Yes, with silver being a hybrid metal, drawing defensive properties and properties from industrial. See, when the economy's in bad shape, people invest in gold and silver. They're safe havens. When the economy's in good shape, silver only benefits. So, you see the purchasing power of the US dollar, which has gone down, and the price of gold, which has actually gone up. Interesting stuff to think about. And then silver would look identical. Silver right now, 67 to 1, so it's sitting around there. The gold to silver ratio actually shows that silver's been going up around this time when gold has been going down. Silver has been dramatically outperforming gold. And I try to make videos like this to show the reality, because a lot of people might not believe it, or, out of sight, out of mind. But once you look at these charts, once you hear this information and the reality of the situation we're in, you get a better idea. Now, I also want to show the gold to silver ratio right now, which is 68.42 to 1, meaning it takes 68 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. We saw it as high as 125 to 1 March 2020. And when the ratio goes down, when the ratio's lower, that means silver has been outperforming gold. This was the most undervalued silver's ever been to gold, which means this gold was the best buy right here. And now look, it went down dramatically, meaning silver has been extremely outperforming gold, and we knew that would happen. And this ratio could keep going down lower, and it only makes sense when you look forwards, right? So I really want people to see the reality of the situation we're in. That's why I love making videos like this. That's why I love talking about this and sharing this stuff. And that's why it's so important to share this information, because someone might have come over from stocks or even crypto, and they're like, okay, what's all this precious metals talk? What's all this silver talk? And they watch a video like this, and then it clicks, right? Then everything makes sense. That Goldilocks moment, that aha moment makes the most sense. The perfect storm is here. The stars have aligned, and it truly has. I can't imagine any situation that silver would be bearish over the next 10 years. I only see it rising, rallying, and profiting. If you think $27, $28 an ounce for silver is too expensive, then I don't know what world you're living in. You're living in La La Land. Just like the article I read yesterday where this lady, Kelsey Williams, was saying that silver isn't real money. And the argument she made was terrible. I recommend you go checking out that video. I think it's called something like "This is the dumbest thing anyone ever said about silver." But I ripped that article apart because the arguments she was making, the points she was making were terrible. Silver is real money. Gold and silver have both been money for over 5,000 years. Silver actually was money just, a couple decades ago. Look at constitutional silver. But anyways, that's another video you might want to check out after this. It's definitely a funny one, entertaining one, and educational one, as I share a lot of context of what she was talking about. It's easy to say something, but if you don't explain the reason behind it, you're not really saying much. Anyone could say silver should be $10 right now, or silver should be $500 right now. But if you don't explain why, then you're not really saying much. So yeah, I definitely, I love talking about this. I hope you found this video educational, informational, at least entertaining. I would love to hear your perspective as well. What do you think about this stuff? Do you see relevancy in the gold to silver ratio or the dollar losing its purchasing power? And what would that mean for gold and silver? Do you invest in the gold as well, or do you only invest in the silver? A lot of people say diversity is key, but some people are pure silver stackers. My name is Silverslayer, not Gold Slayer. So yes, I definitely see a lot more potential and opportunity in silver, especially when you look at, the gold to silver ratio and what silver's been doing compared to gold and what it's going to keep doing. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you want to check out the link to this article, it'll be in the description. Also, check out the channel I just launched, Silverslayer Clips. I've already posted 6 different videos. They're actually called shorts, YouTube shorts. It's a new beta thing where you can post 15, 30-second clips, almost like TikTok. And I thought it would be cool. I could do unboxings on there. I could show some of my other investments. I could show videos of my daughter saying her first word on camera. Some of the crazy coins I have, and I'm just going to keep posting content. I'm super excited about this channel just because, I've been posting the same type of content for 6 years, but this gives me a whole different platform. Sometimes it's hard to make a 10-15 minute video on just one coin or just an unboxing. So now I can show so many other things throughout my day, not just silver related. So if you do enjoy my content, if you want to see a deeper perspective into my life and see some of my personal silver stack, that's definitely a channel you want to go subscribe to. Link will be in the description. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Make sure you like and comment on this video. It would really help. Share it if you want as well. I'm also doing a giveaway soon, so make sure you're subscribed. If you do think you enjoyed this comment enough to throw me a tip, PayPal link and my Bitcoin address is in the description. Like I said, watching the videos more than enough. I thank you guys so much. But if you want to support me. All tips are extremely appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silverslayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.